Good morning, gang. We are back again. All right, before I start today, I want to start with a couple of housekeeping items here, real quick. First off, Nancy Johnson, it's going to be your only other warning. You won the drawing on Saturday night. If I don't hear from you by the live stream tomorrow, I'm picking another winner. I need your address. So email that to me or forego your prize. Second one, I know a lot of you guys follow our buddy over on the other side of the pond, okay? And I got an email from him yesterday. You can imagine with everything going on, there's not a whole lot he can say without risking prison time. He did attend the protest in Moscow in regards to the anti-war people. But as he put it, he certainly couldn't film. That's evidence. And they are even pinging cell phones there to see who is there and going after him later. So, mind you, there's been over 4,000 people arrested for protesting the war already. Didn't mention anything about facial recognition software. I don't know if they've got that, but that would be something else I'd be concerned about. But no, he did go, just obviously couldn't film it and couldn't talk about it. So, but he did want me to pass on that. You'll know who I'm talking about. Okay. Of the multiple Russian YouTubers that I follow, the one in particular that you can probably figure out did take care of this. All right. So what I want to talk about today, excuse me, and I can already tell you there's going to be multiple videos today because there's multiple topics to cover. The first one, today is going to be the first day where the truckers convoy, first business day, where the truckers convoy is in the DC area. Now, they are not going into D.C. themselves for a couple of reasons. First off, if you've ever driven in D.C. or even been in D.C., it's gridlock there anyway. Trying to move an 18-wheeler around there, forget it, okay? So they are staying on the Beltway and going around the Beltway, and they're all created a staging area in Hagerstown, Maryland. Now, this is not little, guys. The media won't talk about it at all, but I'm going to. And, you can find some coverage by some people on YouTube and everything like that. People have mentioned Oreo and stuff like that to me. Supposedly, the convoy got up to 60 miles long. Now, what their plan is to drive around the Beltway slowly, so therefore they are not parked or stopped and can be towed, and each truck is supposed to go around twice and then head back to the staging area. Now today's the first business day. Today will be when the people of DC, Congress, whatever it is, get to see the full effect of this, okay? Because everybody's got to go into work. Now, the interesting part is, I don't have to tell you which side everything's on. The Senate just passed a bill over the weekend to end the COVID national emergency, which is what they're protesting about. Okay? All these restrictions and everything like that. And you say, wow, if the Senate passed a bill, some Democrats must have joined on. No, this was purely upon party lines. Okay. Now, SJ Resolution 38 was proposed by or sponsored by Roger Marshall, Republican from Kansas. It was co-sponsored by Mike Braun from Indiana, Mike Lee from Utah, Ron Johnson from Wisconsin, Ted Cruz from Texas, Rand Paul from Kentucky, Rick Scott from Florida, and Steve Daines from Montana. Wide geographical spectrum and also a wide political. Okay, figure Rand Paul is much more a libertarian. Ted Cruz is much more of a conservative. You'd say Mike Lee is pretty much a rhino. So you have a breakdown in where on the paradigm that, or on the spectrum that the Republicans that sponsored and co-sponsored this are. But the vote passed 48-47, okay? And there were 5 senators that didn't show up at all for the vote. Funny, we talked about not showing up for work on the live stream on Saturday, right? Now we have senators that can't. Now, maybe they had medical reasons or something of the sort, attending a wedding, I don't know, whatever. But whatever these 5 senators did not show up, they must have had something more important. Now, I know we're talking about one senator whose wife is in the hospital terminally ill. I'll give them that one. I'm sorry, that's more important. Okay. But there are not a whole lot of excuses that are not, or are reason for not showing up for a vote as important as this one. But here are your 5 that didn't vote. Senator Burr from North Carolina, Senator Inhofe from Oklahoma, Senator Padilla from California, everybody's favorite person, Dianne Feinstein from California, and of course Mark Kelly from Arizona. All right, now, 2 Republicans, 3 Democrats. They had their reasons for not showing up. My guess is, okay, we know Dianne Feinstein has no chance of losing her seat, okay? You know, whenever she runs. I mean, hell, she could be in a casket, she'd still win. Inhofe is retiring, so that has nothing to do with it. All right, but the other 3 are either don't care or don't want their name attached to either side of this vote. Primarily Mark Kelly. Okay? That's my guess on him. He doesn't want to say he's for it. He doesn't want to say he's against it because, well, he's a Democrat and should be against it because if you're a Democrat, you better toe the party line and do whatever Schumer tells you. Okay. He lives in a red state. Okay. And he's in a battle for his seat, which he's probably going to lose in Arizona. So the last thing he wanted to do was give more ammunition to his competitor saying, look, you want to keep everybody locked down. That's the reason I guess there. But, of course, now this has to go to the Senate, or I'm sorry, the House to get passed. Good luck, okay? You know, if all the Congress people in the House follow party lines, which you probably figure they're going to, this fails there, okay? But at least it's on record who voted for what. Then, of course, after passing both houses, then it's got to go to Biden. And do you honestly think Biden's going to go, sure, I'll sign away from my emergency powers? Okay. That ain't going to happen. All right. So there's, you know, by party lines, this is all great politics, but it's not going to matter. But what it does show is that the Democrats do not want to give up this declaration of emergency. It's their only power. This is how they keep trying to force all this stuff through. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens this week and how many people start screaming and yelling and bitching about the convoy, blocking traffic and people, oh, it took me 6 hours to get to work and all this sort of stuff. Okay? They told you early on, if you don't want to be inconvenienced by this convoy, revoke all the mandates. Obviously, the Republicans are right on board with you. Democrats, it's time to start listening to the people and not your donors. We have more power, believe it or not. Pinball out.